Hi folks, and Céad Míle Fáilte. This is
the navigation,
where I'll be going on a weekly basis through all the most popular devices, doing the reviews, giving you my pros and cons of each one, so you know exactly which one is the best for you. First of all, and like always, a quick disclaimer that all the products that you'll see on these reviews have been sent to me for me to test and review. If you use the links down below and the coupon codes, I might get a little bit of a commission out of it. Help a brother out, right? Now, having said that, everything that I say on this video is my own personal and honest opinion, right? I'll give you all the good stuff and the bad stuff and make your own decision, right, based on my own personal experience. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Today we have the CarPlay MotorCycle B6 unit. B stands for BMW and 6 is because it's a 6 inches unit, right? This device is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It connects to both wirelessly and it is a pretty nice unit. Let's have a closer look at the unit. CarPlay MotorCycle or CPMC. This is, like I mentioned, specifically for BMW bikes, and you can have it on either 6 inches or 7. This one I've chosen the 6 inches because I think it's the perfect size. So inside that you have your little box there, nothing too crazy. And then inside the box, very simple, you have the unit. Obviously, like I mentioned on the intro, I've used this unit for quite a while, so it doesn't have the protective screen and everything. So after a few weeks use and a couple of 100 kilometers, you can see the unit's still perfect. Very sturdy build. The device feels very solid. It is IP67 waterproof and dustproof. As you can see, it mounts straight to your BMW navigation system. Straight out of the bat, I definitely like that little lip that protects it from the sun and reflections. That's pretty cool. At the bottom, you have access to USB card, USB Type-C, and a little microphone. Mounting the device cannot be easier. You just obviously need your BMW nav prep. And as you can see, the pins here, right? You have the bottom, which is flat, which matches here. So you basically put it at the bottom, click it in place, that's it. You're mounted. Very easy. And then if you want to take it off for whatever reason, you just take it off, right? So you have to move the lever here at the back to unlock it. And then this one will let it go once it's unlocked. So if you extend the lever there, it's unlocked, click it in, you lock it, remove the key, and that's it. That thing is secure, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's the device on. That's your main screen, which I think it looks perfect. Very simple, very elegant, let's call it, right? I think it's the design of the whole interface is really, really good. So you have a few things to look around here, right? So you have your Bluetooth connection indicator, your Wi-Fi, your GPS signal. So the device has its own GPS signal. And then if you have it, if you expect your device with the TPMS, it will also light up over here, right? Then obviously you have your speed and your tire pressure monitor if selected that specification for your own device. Otherwise, if not, it will detect the pressure from your bike. Obviously now I have the bike stopped, so it's not reading the tire pressure on my motorcycle just yet. So down below you have your 4 options. The first one will be for either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Second one is brightness, very easy. Then you have your different dashboards, right? So that again connects to your motorcycle and it will display all the same information as your TFT. So you have this one, which is pretty similar to the TFT from BMW with a few additional things, like you can see the range, the engine temperature, lean angle, air temperature, voltage, etc., right? That on the TFT you have to actually access the menus to see. Everything else, as you can see, for example, this would be the front brake, and if I press it, it lights up. And then the gear shifter or gear selector, it shows you very clearly, right, on which gear you are on. And then you have this other screen that doesn't have the rate counter and only adds all the different data points, right? Tire pressure, temperature, etc. If you are going to use an information screen, I think this one is a lot better because again, it doesn't repeat a lot of information that you already have on your TFT, like your rev counters, etc. So going back to your screen, you have then your settings, auxiliary button, we'll get that into a second. You have your screensaver. The next option is brightness, right? So you click on that and you can manually select your brightness or the brightness limits, right? You can say, hey, I want it to be automatic, but the minimum should not be lower than 30% or something like that, right? So you can configure that the best way you want. Then for the tire pressure, this one is if you spec again your device with the sensors for the TPMS. In my case, my bike already has TPMS, so I didn't get those, but they work really well, right? I've tested on all the devices, so I know they work really well. Time and settings, language, pretty straightforward. Then the GPS limit, you can have it on kilometers or miles per hour. Then you can clear your connectivity history in case you're changing phones or whatever, right? Or you want to sell your device. Format your SD card, restore factory settings, and your firmware version. So everything pretty straightforward. So let's talk about the auxiliary button, right? So the two options that it gives you is close and open. It should say off and on, right? That will be a lot more explanatory. And I'll show you exactly what it is. Let's turn it on for now. Yeah, that's on. So when you go into, in my case, Android Auto, you select the first icon. It will connect automatically, but in my case, I exited so I can show you the screen. But basically, you see this little dot floating around, right? And you can move it whatever you want. So that is your auxiliary button. When you press it, you can either go to home or choose your brightness. So it's basically a shortcut that you can have on your screen at all times to do those things at any given time, right? Just go back to your home or adjust your brightness, as I said, right? In my case, I don't really use it, right? So you can go again to configuration, auxiliary button, select close. And now when you go back to Android Auto, it goes back on and you can have all your settings and everything without that little floating button. Now, just to mention a few things, you've seen how quickly everything goes right from one mode to the other, right? When you go to settings, to your screens, right? Everything goes very quickly, so it's very responsive screen. Then you have your navigation, of course, right? So you can zoom in and out, no problem whatsoever. Again, pretty responsive, pretty quick. You can go to music, right? Depending on which applications you have on your either Android Auto or CarPlay. Now, let's explore the WonderWheel, right? When you're on your first menu, and this is the quickest way I can show you, if you look at this top left-hand side, there's nothing there, right? So if you press and hold your menu up, then you see BMW nav. So that means that now the WonderWheel is active and now you can control your device with the WonderWheel. As you can see, you see how the red thing from one option to the other. So if I want to do the settings, right? I go to the settings cog. To enter the option, you have to press the signal cancel button, right? So you press on the signal cancel button and then that accesses the menu that you want. If I go back with the WonderWheel, it exits the menu, no problem whatsoever. And now I'm back on my main menu. So let's enter Android Auto, selecting the option, go straight into my navigation. And then here is one of the issues that I've seen with this device. And I've been talking with the support team back and forth, and I don't know if it is my unit or my phone or whatever, but this is something that I haven't been able to figure out. You see that now I'm on the map. You see how it changes on the options, right? But if I want to select any other application on this bar on the side, I'm not able to, right? Because I'm kind of stuck in navigation mode, right? So in theory, I should be able to switch to the bar menu pressing on the back with the WonderWheel, but unfortunately that doesn't work, right? So that's the only issue that I've seen with this. But again, it's not a big deal because, you know, since it also has the touchscreen and it works with your glove, then you can either select other applications or go back to your map, full screen, whatever, right? And then you can use it, no problem whatsoever. Mainly, what you want is obviously being able to scroll the wheel to either zoom out or zoom in, right? Or go to your navigation, right? And you can sort all that up. If you have your helmet set up, which obviously I don't have my helmet on at the minute, but something very handy with these devices that you can call up for Google, right? And then you can start talking, right? And obviously you can give them commands, take me home, do this, do that, whatever, right? So that is very handy and makes things a lot quicker. But again, something to have in mind that at this point in time, right, November 2025, even with the latest firmware upgrades, it won't let you switch from one screen to the other, at least not on my device, not with my testing, and I haven't been able to figure out how to switch back and forth on this particular device. But again, something, it's not a big deal, but something for you to have in mind, easy enough to work around it with your touch. The other thing worth mentioning is that when you shut off the device, it actually takes quite a while to completely shut off, right? And again, talking to support, they tell me that they have a little capacitor inside the device to hold up power. So it is like a gentle shut off, right? And not a hard shut off. But when you turn off the bike, let's say I turn off the bike now, right? So now the bike is off. And in theory, in 10 seconds, the device should turn off. But again, mine doesn't do that. It holds power for about a minute or two. If I take it off the mount, yes, in 10 seconds, the device will shut off. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Again, not a big deal if you stop for fuel or something like that. Between you putting fuel on your bike, eventually the screen will turn off and that's it. You don't have to worry about it. But something weird that it takes that long to the device to shut off, right? And I'll time it to see how long it actually takes so you don't have to endure the whole thing. There you go, now it's off. Now, another pretty good feature, and I think this is pretty cool. You've noticed that when I turn off my bike, right, and the whole device, you'll see my logo popping up, right? So in some devices, you have to do a little bit of a trickery with your computer, set up the logo, put it on an FD card, etc. Well, with this device, you can actually customize it from the beginning. You do have to pay a little bit extra. You send them whatever picture you want and they will actually set it up for you. So whenever you get your device out of the box, it will already have your logo and you don't have to do anything. So I think it's a pretty good feature to have. Other than that, I think the size is absolutely perfect. It matches the TFT perfectly fine. It's not too big, it's not too small. You can see, at least for my eyes, you can see the navigation perfectly fine. It doesn't cover anything and it fits, I think it matches the whole profile of the bike very nicely. So there you have it, folks, CarPlay MotorCycle B6 for your BMW bike. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or what you think about this device. To me, definitely one to consider, it's pretty solid. And also remember that this is going to be part of kind of weekly review, right? So depending on when you're watching this video, there might be other reviews already, or you might have to wait a couple of days, but I'll definitely leave the playlist down below so you can check, compare, and buy the one that suits you best. Having said that, thank you very much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you folks on the next one. Thanks.